KH-TV.com. What are you looking at?
The Word Around Town Poetry Tour is an amazing opportunity for us to meet lots of different people celebrated by a unique bond, and that is poetry.
Guys ready for that? Woo! Yeah, come on, are you guys ready for that?
I'm lazy, rushing liquid pocket change, brain between paychecks, desperation makes payday on the traffic every time my wallet goes on empty. Asking for help has the feel of swallowing.
I'm very excited to introduce you to Makeda and Marcel. Marcel actually did a performance at Lamar University that was awesome back in 2010, so I'm going to let them go ahead and tell you a little bit about their work.
I enjoy performing, just came off a very long hiatus, so to be back on the mic and to be asked to join Word Around Town was a lot of fun.
Wow, and what makes you unique as an artist?
Unique as an artist, I think perception. What I typically try to do is to embody anything that I'm going to write. I typically write persona piece. I'll find inspiration anywhere from sitting around a beauty shop to being on the bus on the way to work or on the way back home or going out of town.
And what about you, Marcel? How did you team up with Makeda?
This is my fiance.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. How long have you guys been doing poetry together?
We had always been doing poetry in our own different facets, and this is our first year doing it together.
Who's the better artist?
He is, no.
Typical relationship.
I enjoy his work because he's able to do what I'm not able to do.
Right. Your work is kind of extreme, and it's actually a lot of humorous. I got to see you, as I stated earlier, at Lamar University. So how long have you been doing poetry?
Wow, about a good 15 years now. I was going to open mics left and right and everything, and sometimes I would team up with the slam team, and then we would go to nationals, and I would tour around the city. So I've been in this for a little while. Now I'm hosting a writing workshop. Something I said I would never do in life a decade ago, I'm actually doing now. Just go to show what the destiny of your poetry will have for you.
He sat in back of class, eyes glazed, mind wandering absently over chalk figures and enough see Jane run that we all began to wonder who was chasing her. His thick tongue murdered words and embarrassed teachers who felt that they'd worked hard enough with the slow boy.
I forgive such iniquities. I know better failures in my heart, for I am a bronze dragon, breathing fire and a voice that echoes, baila, 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 capoeira, vou jogar. My words make me cry, I can't get them out fast enough. They make you want to leave your lover when you don't even have one. My poems are the stars you want to wish your raggedy little witches upon, and those are the ones I haven't even written yet.
Hey, I'm here at the Word Around Town Houston tour with Mr. Lupe Mendez, literary active and poet. Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. So what got you involved with the Word Around Town poetry tour?
Actually, it was more of a selection. Maybe about 7 years ago, the original organizers had put together a list of about 10 poets that pretty much go around to all the different venues and weren't scared to take themselves out of their own little cubby holes in their habits, and we're able to read at different venues around town, and we got together and finally just decided to make it a week-long 7 days of reading at a different venue every night of the week.
And who's your favorite poet?
Maybe Sylvia Plath, Raul Salinas, Jimmy Santiago Baca, and Lucille Clifton.
Hey guys, I'm here with Bean. How are you?
I'm well.
What kind of highlights you as an artist, as a poet?
Most of my poems stem from conversations I've had with people, and then I create some kind of piece from that. I like to bring people into that conversation, if you will, or just be entertained for the simple matter of being entertained.
Now tell me a little bit about Metaphor Houston. I know you're involved with that foundation as well.
When I was in college, I started the first team for Prairie View A&M poetry slam team. We came 8th in the country. Shannon Buggs at the Houston Chronicle was starting a youth slam team in Houston, and she heard about my success with Prairie View and kind of brought me on board. Metaphor Houston is all about giving youth ages 13 to 19 specifically a platform, and a strong platform, and not only just to be creative with their words, but to express themselves and their truths, their honesty, what's right, what's wrong from their eyes and their words.
Once in Houston, we saw an image that changed our perspective on relationships.
A man was hanging from scaffolding in the air, steel hooks suspending him by his back, his girlfriend dangling from beneath him by his chest.
She wore her star badges of honor as a permanent tattoo, a declaration of love. They were face to face, gravity proving its existence. He reached around.
I'm here with the fluent one. How'd you get involved with poetry?
I was dragged into poetry by a bald guy named Outspoken Bean. At the time, I thought he was an arrogant host of a poet. He thought I was an incompetent DJ, and then we ended up on a national team competing at Prairie View A&M University.
What got you involved with the Word Around Town poetry tour?
I met up with Stephen Gross a couple years ago, and he's been one of the main people with the Word Around Town tour, and had me start about 3 years. So I've been coming back each year. It's always fun. Get to meet new poets, different forms, different styles, personalities, such as BGK, who's featuring right now. Love that guy. Always a lot of energy, but really intricate punchlines that you don't quite get unless you pay attention to the whole thing.
I'm fighting for a bigger love now, son. It's one about the people that walk this earth. For this movement, my whole life is worth. And I'll endure the murders and the pinche raids, survive the propaganda to make our culture fade. Ricos think they own this, but this is Aztlan. It's not about me no more, it's about our sacred lands. It's about the end of the servitude for the working and poor. It's about the end of the machismo mujeres endure. My people, learn your purpose in this life. Let's talk about why you carry a knife. The time has come to talk about the rape of Mexica.
Hey guys, it's Jasmine, and I'm around H-Town with the Word Around Town Poetry Tour. And I have an amazing poet with me, Miss Decolonize. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Now, could you tell me a little bit about your poetry and what inspires you as an artist?
A lot of it is personal, just things that I've gone through and things that I've experienced through the activist community here in Houston. I was involved with a lot of immigration rights things early on when I was like younger in college and things like that. And it just became a channel in which to you know, put the word out about what was happening. And so that's really like where a lot of the inspiration came from. Most of my stuff is like political, or at least shows like my ideology.
As a poet on the Word Around Town Poetry Tour, what have you really brought unique to other poets, and what did you like about the tour itself?
I love the diversity of Word Around Town. That is like the hugest thing, you know. You get poets that usually would not come together because Houston is so spread out. It's hard to bring these people together at times, or they only go to certain venues. So, you know, we bring these people that have been doing their thing throughout the year, and that's how they get chosen to come up and be part of this. So I love the diversity of it. I like to think that I bring a political voice and like a personal voice. You know, sometimes I can get a little bit intimate, you know, with things as well, and I think I just try to remind people to look at the issues. You know, it affects things affect us like on the daily, and sometimes it's in a very subconscious way.
Nobody likes a slut because they think a slut is a liar, not to be trusted. Only damage can come, poisoning every sipping pond. But new sluts are being made every day and being made differently. Trust me, I am that slut for you. And in these times, chastity.
I'm here with BGK, who happens to be the featured artist on tonight. How you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's good to come out at the end of the tour and do some reading. You know, I have a big spot where, you know, I could just kind of have some breathing room, you know. So, you know, I've been doing this for about, I went on for about 3 years, and this is, I guess, my 4th year where I just get this featured spot and do it, and a lot of, I know a lot of these guys, so, you know, it's a lot of fun, you know.
How did you get into the Word Around Town poetry tour?
I'm friends with Stephen Gross, is one of the promoters here, one of the originators of this, and so we're friends. We work together in the day doing graphic design stuff, and so he just kind of naturally brought me on, thinking that I was a good fit for it.
Tell me a little bit about your work.
I've been putting books out over the years, maybe about over 10 books. The writing is, for the most part, stream of consciousness and philosophical and comedic, all in one big ball, basically.
And go ahead and tell us on camera what exactly BGK stands for, because I think it's just hilarious.
Oh, it either stands for basically gentle and kind, or boldly go kill, or Buddhist guy kinda. And that's just a few, so.
Well, you are definitely boldly killing the mic here with BGK, an amazing poet and writer on the Word Around Town poetry tour.
Slowly running through our blood ain't got chrome wheels, just a bunch of white boys rolling in the night. Detour takes us past the edge of light. The air gets thick and slow. Silence slams, and I recall Tex Beneke, long dead sax man, singing. As I was going up the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away.
Just breathe, calm the excitement, and release. Too many distractions, to-do lists never end. It's like I have to make a date just to escape, because I write alone. Don't watch me as I converse with my soul. That is all my own. I'm often asked, have you written lately? No, not on paper, not as often as I would like, but I will always be a writer. I've been given a poetic soul.
I'm here with another Renaissance woman, entrepreneur, jewelry designer, and poet as well. I would like to introduce you to Blanca. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm having a great time.
How did you get into poetry?
Poetry goes way back a long time, middle school, teenage years. I've been writing for about 20 years, but active in the scene about past 5 years.
As a poet, what inspires you in most of your work?
I like to share. I like to connect. I like to write about life experiences, and just it's my therapy. You know, I put it out there, I release it, and I share it, and if it inspires or helps others, that's my goal.
Well, he's got a scar on his head from a baseball bat, and I learned to cook steak in a pan. And I'm sorry if that's not good enough for you. And I'm sorry that your tears are streaking rainbows down that glass of your manicured nails. Maybe you want more out of a man than a big cock and a sense of humor, but that's all I got to offer. So you can grab me a beer, pour yourself another glass of wine, and we can toast the times that have been. You can sit there and blame my life on circumstance, wishing I was someone else. Either way, I'm gonna finish this dinner, because we don't waste food around here.
Hey guys, guess who I found around H-Town? I'm here with Chris Wise. Are you enjoying the show?
Absolutely. It's our 7th night. The best part about it is getting to know the other poets and getting to know venues that I've never been to.
So tell me a little bit about your work as far as a poet. What makes you unique from other artists?
Well, I'm probably not unique. You know, what I write about is myself. I write autobiographical fiction. I'm not bound by the truth. Sometimes the truth isn't interesting. Sometimes two things put together will make a great story, but on its own, it's not that great. What I don't write about is politics or anything like that. I don't want to be a divisive sort of person. When I come out on a Friday, Saturday night, or when I go out, I want to have a good time. I want to see somebody that's trying to have a good time. So that's what I bring.
Let's have a good time and stay away from those touchy subjects.
And why? You know what I mean? Why? Some people, that's their issue or whatnot, not me. What we can all get behind is humanity. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a problem with something, I'll just bring it up, you know? And I'll say it from my perspective and without fear.
You heard it from Chris Wise first. If you feel it, say what's on your heart and don't have fear.
We keep this thing going. Up next, we call her the sexy, sexy poet. Let's all give it up for Ray!
You can't sleep
tossing and turning in a wet memory of what just took place.
So, Rain, if you'll just please take me to your little room and chain me to the wall and bring your leather zipper mask and we can have a ball.
I'm here with Rain, who's not only a great poet, she's a published author, and she co-wrote Voices, Women of the Bible. Could you tell me a little bit about the play?
The play was co-written by myself and Savannah Blue, and it was actually a very good play, but it didn't make it out.
Well, that definitely happens, but I'm sure it doesn't take away from the values that the play definitely has to offer. What inspired you to write this play, and tell me a little bit about the women in the Bible as they do relate to women today?
The hardships they've gone through, I can relate to it because I've been through quite a few bad experiences myself, and that's mainly what we write about. That's why everything went so, it just kind of connected with myself and Savannah because she's been through a lot as well. So we both could feel each character of the Bible, and the people that we chose to be in the play as well. They've gone through things and they were the perfect fit for it. So it's all about life experiences.
Now, as a woman, what type of unique values or unique ethics do you bring to your poetry? Do you think a man can still relate to your work?
Men relate to my work a lot, whether it's sad poetry, whether it's sexy, whether it's just real. So yeah, a lot of men, they do connect with my poetry. Yeah.
So make yourself seen. And I know your heart can hear me because my pulse is racing.
We had nothing to lose but time, and to assure that time did not delete us, I stored remnants of myself inside of you. Left my fingerprints across your chest. That's the birthmark of my existence. You see, I know the story of every scar you bear.
I'm here with Stephen Gross, and he's one of the organizers of the Word Around Town Poetry Tour. About how you got involved with the organization and what exactly it's been doing here in Houston.
Well, 7 years ago in 2006, or 5, I can't count, 2006 I believe, Zelina Pineda had this concept of doing an inner city tour to introduce poets to new venues and venues to new poets and the audience to everybody, and it was very rough. She came to Joe B., who's a very well-known local DJ, and asked for his help and support, and he pointed to me. And at the time, I was working with Panhandler Quarterly. I knew a lot of poets and everything, had a lot of connections in that way. So it's been just going ever since, and we're getting bigger and bigger every year.
So if people would like to be a part of the Word Around Town tour as far as performances are concerned, how could they be involved?
Well, if you want to get on the tour as part of the regular lineup, there's really only one way to do it, and we hold a poetry draft, or rather a poet draft, because we're drafting poets, not just the poetry. And we do that next year. I think we're going to do it earlier in the year, probably within National Poetry Month, which is April. It's an open experience, but at the same time, we also hand select people as well.
It seems to me that the artists that are involved with the tour seem to develop a great poetry network and kind of develop a relationship with other poets as well. So for new artists, how easy or how hard would it be to get involved with you guys?
Anybody new coming on the tour, we actually had 7 new poets on the tour that hadn't been on at all before this year because of the draft. And, you know, I feel closer to all of them than I do to my best friends right now because it's the closing night and we're just having a great time. So, you know, we're all, over the course of it, we all make connections with each other. Everybody's got their own open mics they go to and shows, and it's all about, like, you know, interspersing the tribes. And since that's the whole concept to begin with, it really works out in our favor.
It's been an amazing opportunity for me to not only share this experience with the other poets, but also enjoy the vibe. So you heard it here first with Jasmine at KH-TV.COM on Around H-Town.
Was sealed on Calvary when they put nails in his feet and in both of his hands, and not one time did he resist. He just stretched his arms out like he was trying to give the world a big hug because of the love he had for me and for you. That's why he screamed out, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." As the Roman soldiers laughed, holding their sides, they poked fun at his pain and his misery. But little did they know, I said little did they know that one Savior plus 3 nails and 1 cross would equal the greatest victory in history. Sir Thomas.